Howdy, hi. This is Dewdrop Sports, WNBA and NBA picks and predictions for Monday, May 18th, 2026. We are looking at every single game on a slate. Let's get into the video. All right, so the first thing we got to do is recap the previous day's results. It started off really good with a fantastic game in Atlanta between the Aces and the Dream. And then clearly, by the graph in the middle of the screen, you can just see it all went straight down, literally just downward off of a cliff, like one of those little pufflin pangolin things. It was bad, all bad. The 4-5 record brings our season record to 35-36. In the middle of the screen, you will see that graph. You too can get that graph and a free $3 sent to your Venmo or PayPal. Check it out. Pick it. Link in the description below. Track all your bets. Do all that fun stuff completely for free. And then this video is also brought to you by Call Sheet. Maybe you cannot get action on some of these semi-lovely WNBA games because your state is dumb. Call Sheet has it covered. It's legal in all 50 states. Trade $10, get $10 for free. Easy sign up, no nonsense. Check it out. Link in the description. Then if you look at the band list, we have not one, but two new faces on the band list. You say goodbye to Becky Hammond, and you say hello to the entire Indiana Fever team and Stephanie White. We'll get to why they were banned in a minute. So on the ban list, you have realistically three teams. You have the Fever, you have the Sun, and then you have two members of the LA Sparks, Steph White, Caitlin Clark. That's a lot of nonsense and a lot of tomfoolery going on that ban list. All right, we'll recap these games real quick. First one, Aces and Dream. This was by far the best game of the day. Aces win this one semi-controversial at the end. The Aces were winning for the majority of the game. I mean, their largest lead that they held at one point was 19 points. Then they messed around and they found out, losing the fourth quarter 10-21, but they still win the game 85-84. You had, I think, Jackie Young getting a jump ball at the end against, who was it? Alicia Gray. Then the tip out to Chelsea. She goes into the middle of the paint, makes a floater. The Dream call the timeout, move it down half court. They turn the ball over. The Aces win 85-84. Then the other winner, dude, Lynn Roberts has to be fired so soon. It's not even funny. The Tempo destroy the Sparks. They won 106-96. How do you let the Tempo go for 106 points? 48% from the field, 38% from deep. Toronto shot 42 free throws, in which they made 39 of them. Brittany Sykes went for 38. Marina Mabry, 14. Kiki Rice, a rookie, went for 19. Kia Nurse off the bench had double digits. You should be brought to the gallows if you are allowing Kia Nurse to drop 10 points in 12 minutes of basketball. And then just for fun, let's go to Cameron Brink and see what her plus-minus was on the day. Cameron Brink played 18 minutes of basketball. She was, honestly, -9's not even that bad. For her standard, that's a massive win. All right, now we have the Fever. They are banned. This was the most egregious, not only non-cover, we get hooked as they win by 11. The over also should have hit. The Fever did not make a basket or a free throw, so they had 0 points scored for the final 4 minutes and 50 seconds of this game. They were stuck on 89 points. They lose the fourth quarter 20-12. They win the game 89-78. That total lands on 167. This should have hit in every single universe in existence, but it didn't because it didn't hit. That was painful. Then we have the Lynx. The Lynx are a team I cannot understand currently. They're 0-2 at home against what I think are two teams that aren't too strong. I mean, I'm not sure how good the Dream are right now, but then they're 2-0 on the road. They lose this game to Chicago, who is now 3-1, mind you, 86-79. The main problem, Minnesota, 15 turnovers, 32% from deep. They allowed Chicago 25 free throws compared to Minnesota, who only shot 12. And then we also lost Olivia Miles, points and rebounds over 20.5. She finishes with 19 as she goes 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 4 from deep. The second half was fine. The first half, I think she went 2 of 8 or 2 of 8 from the field sounds right. Yeah, second half she goes 2 of 2 and just doesn't shoot the ball enough because she's probably not feeling confident. So that is how we lose her and the Lynx, and that is how we go 4 and 5. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. All right, so we got 2 games today. The first one's actually pretty good. It is the Mystics and the Wings. The second game is horrible. If I had someone captive in my basement and I was holding them hostage and I let them watch television, I wouldn't even let them watch this. I'd be like, "Hold on, you want to watch that?" It's like, "No. Turn around, blindfold on. Nope, no television. Turn it off. Not today." That is how bad the second game is. First one, this one's in Dallas. It is the Mystics and the Wings. I'm going to lay it with the Wings -4.5. I'll also take the over 171.5. I wish this was like closer to 2.5, but I think you just have to bet the Wings here. Mystics starting 5, Georgia Amore, Citron, McMahon. They switched her and put her in. I think she originally played Ohio State and then transferred to Ole Miss, if I remember correctly. Kiki Iriafen and then Shakira Austin. Wings starting 5, Sims, Page, Ogunbowale, Shepard, and Smith, even though they should really switch that up and put in Maddie Siegrist at the 4, but I digress. So, the Wings, weird one. Mystics, they're coming off of a win on the road at the Indiana Fever. The Wings, they're 0-2 at home this year, but what 1-0 on the road, it makes no sense what the Wings are doing. The Mystics, very young team, still don't love how much youth they've just gone with, but so far it's worked, so I really don't know what I'm talking about. Coming off of that big win in Indiana, this is 1 of 4 or 5 road games in a row. Don't love that for such a young squad. Decent matchup here in the backcourt, not so much front court. Decent matchup in the backcourt, not so much in the front court. Young Kiki Iriafen, young Shakira Austin. I don't think they're going to be able to do much against the combo of Shepard and Smith down low. Supposedly, I mean, if you remember back to Smith and Shepard being on the wings, their defense was actually solid. Like, I think Alana Smith was co-defensive player of the year with Asia Wilson last season. It hasn't really panned out in Dallas, but surely, with multiple days of rest and you being 0-2 at home, you can nut up for one game, Alana Smith, and play some defense, because that's all you need. So there are 2 home losses for the Wings. The Dream by 5, kind of respectable, that's fine. The Lynx by 4, not looking as respectable now. You need a get-right game. You have the better backcourt. You have the better front court. You should win this. Like, if you are a competent basketball team who cares about winning, you should win this game. Therefore, give me the Wings. All right, then we got this next game. Dude, we have an expansion team laying 4.5 points, not even 3 weeks into the season at home. I will also take the over 173.5. Neither of these teams plays any defense. Connecticut starting 5, Van Lith, Neepkins, Miller, Burke, and Edwards. Fire starting 5, Smalls, Carlton, Puch, Engsler, and Geiselsoder. All right, so looking a little deeper into this one, this is the Suns' first real road game of the year. Technically, they did play on the road in their first game. It was at the New York Liberty, though, so like not really a road game. Then they played at home against the Storm, in which they lost, and then 2 back-to-back games at home against the Aces. Obviously, they lose both of those. Injury news here, they have a decent amount. Layla Lacan, questionable. She's overseas. Whenever that season ends, she will come back. I'm assuming she is not playing. Griner and Nelson Dodota are both questionable. They are pretty important, especially Griner, as she is your starting center. And Nelson Dodota also plays the 5. So if you don't have either of them, you go small with Aaliyah Edwards, and then you just figure it out once again. I do like how they put in Van Lith. I don't love the Neepkins addition. I'd rather them move Dylan Miller to the 2. Dylan Miller can work the 2. You're just not going to have any 3-point shooters, really. I kind of still like that more than Neepkins, though, so we'll see what they do there. The Fire, their previous games, back-to-back home games against Liberty. Portland has still not played a road game this year, which, again, makes 0 sense to me at all. None. It's stupid. But they looked good enough to win the first game. Then they did kind of get throttled in that second game by the Liberty. This is going to be the easiest teams they have played all year. They do have 2 questionables with Late and Samuelson. We'll see if they suit up. Even if they don't, I think I'm still going to take the Fire. Despite being an expansion team, I think they have the better roster. So we'll see what goes on. Give me Fire -4.5 and the over. All right, then we got our outlier prop. If you want to check out, get all these stats for yourself, you can check it out. 2-week free trial in the description below. Helps the channel a bunch. It is Paige Beckers. I'm going to take her PRA. It's only 28.5. She's been pretty much around this number every single game. She's hit it in 1 out of 3. I think she's slowly starting to realize if we want to win games, we are going to have to put up a billion points because currently Dallas's defense is awful. The only real way of finding consistent buckets in this Wings offense is Paige. We've already seen what Arike Gumbawale can do. One game at the Fever, she can drop 25, 30 points, win you the game. Then she comes home, goes 2 of 11 from the field with 5 turnovers, and you're like, yep, that's the Arike Gumbawale we all know and love. Well, she's a flamethrower. One day she wins you, the next day she loses you. Paige Becker is the exact opposite. Paige is your stereotypical fast forward 3 years, 50% from the field, 40% from deep, 90% from the free throw line. Very rarely done in the WNBA. That is the level of Paige. That is the level Paige can get to with how she looks. I think 28.5 is too low. Guarding her will be Georgia Amor / Sonia Citron. Ain't nobody standing from a Paige, period, especially them two. So I will take Paige, PRA over. All right, then you got basketball. We're down to 4 teams. The Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. Here we're in the West Coast. Give me San Antonio catching 6.5 at the Thunder. I have listed a few reasons as to why. 1, OKC has not played a basketball game in a minute. 2, Spurs are coming off of a really strong end of the series against the Timberwolves. 3, Thunder are 1-4 straight up this year against the Spurs. The Spurs kind of have their number. 4, the Spurs have Wembanyama. And then once again, the Spurs have Wembanyama. I think that's about all the info I need. All right, that is the recap. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. If you have not already, make sure you hit that like button. Helps the channel out a ton. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace.